Hey everyone, I'm Caley and for this week's edition of Catching Up with Caley, I'm very pleased to be joined with Lightning goaltending coach Frantz Jean from the bubble. Frantz, how have the last couple days been? Just a luxury to rest up and recuperate after a great round two series against the Bruins.
Yeah, we're actually like it's not often you get into a playoff situation where you have that much time to heal up and and just kind of get ready for the next round. I won't lie to you, days are a little bit long, when you don't play games in the bubble, but I think it's going to pay off down the road.
Yeah, how crucial was it, that series, just knowing a kind of experienced veteran team like the Lightning are, that you guys were able to close it out in 5 games and give yourself the ability to get some rest with some injuries too as well that you guys are dealing with?
Well, it's extremely important. What I'm really happy about is that we kept in both those series. We kind of kept the momentum the whole series in against Columbus and against Boston, and I think that shows a little bit of our maturity as a group. And to have been involved in numerous NHL playoffs at the junior level, and when I played, college hockey or junior. Time off is always welcome in the playoffs. Like you might be a little rusty in game one, but as the season progress, as the playoff progress, and as you get deeper in the particular series, it comes handy. Believe me, guys will be fresh, and you'll see less mental mistakes and less situation where we'll get injured because of fatigue.
I know you said days in the bubble are long, I could imagine, but what are some ways that the players and you guys are staying active, or the players are able to kind of actively recover and get their minds ready for it's going to be an important, obviously, Eastern Conference final, but playing two teams that just went into or going into a Game 7?
Actually, we've been practicing the last couple of days, so we're back on the ice. Spirits are great. Guys are really engaged. We're really lucky here in Toronto. We're in probably the best hotel in either bubbles, like Edmonton or Toronto. Like our hotel is actually feels a little bit like a resort, in the sense of there's an unreal workout facility here with tennis courts and all sorts of racquetball, pickleball, the basketball area, so guys can really stay active and kind of get together and do stuff, either small groups or big group. We got BMO Field, which is where the Toronto FC and the Toronto Argonauts of the Canadian Football League, where they play, and guys have access to that. So guys have been spending a lot of time together, which is great for team morale, and it allows us to kind of stay active and be outside, and so that I think that helped a lot for the general spirit of the group and the positiveness.
Have you and the other coaches been able to utilize the facilities and the pickleball and all of that kind of stuff too?
Yeah, there's. I know that the management group has been highly involved with pickleball tournaments with other team management. Myself, I'm more of a tennis player. I'm at my age to play pickleball. All that stops and starts are a little hard on my knees and my back, but I'm a tennis player, so I played with Jeff Halpern. We played a lot, especially early on, and so it's been a fun time for sure.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool experience. As far as the coaches right now, how have you guys been able to sort of pre-scout your opponents, and what sort of things have you guys been able to do to get ready for the next round?
Well, we've had the opportunity because of the fact that we finished our series pretty early. So we had the opportunity to watch the Islanders and the Flyers battling it out, and so it gives us a real good glimpse at how they play different situations. Their power play, their PK, 5-on-5, how their goalies play, and on both teams. And so we've been kind of working on putting a pre-scout on each team. It just gets right now it's a little bit in limbo who we're going to play against. So we got to prepare kind of twice for the Eastern Conference final, because we got to do a pre-scout on each team. But it allows us to really go in depth and kind of in details in our preparation. So that's going to be a good thing.
How does the pre-scouting for goaltenders differentiate, as far as looking at Varlamov and Grice and at Carter Hart? How are you looking and evaluating their play through the series? And is it just about tendencies to get your players ready?
Well, essentially it is. It is, Caley. It's tendencies. It's what they do well, what they don't do so well. So I go back into the season. I go back into all their games in the playoffs and probably their last, I'd say, 20 starts of the season, and really kind of, even if it's been 4 or 5 months ago. So then you really kind of identify tendencies, and you narrow it down to what are the tactics that we will use to kind of take advantage of those tendencies. So it's a lot of video work. They're long days when you have to prepare those pre-scouts. So we're right in it right now. I'm spending a lot of time doing video work on that, and hopefully, it will help the team create offense.
Yeah, certainly an added bonus to have the days off. I kind of wanted to go back and just talk about that 5 overtime game to open up the Columbus series, and just overtime from your perspective, obviously, as a goaltender. What is it like being in that situation with the added pressure and the mental fatigue? How did you help Vasilevsky get through that, and what does it take to stay focused when you go into that extensive of a game?
Well, anybody who's played sports, as you know, Caley, like, it's when you get in those situations, it's all about willpower. It's all about it comes from within. How much do you want it, and how much. What are you ready to do to stay focused, stay engaged, compete in a situation where you're getting more and more tired as the game progressed, and your equipment becomes heavier as the game progressed. So it's really to find ways to have a self-talk that will allow you to stay focused, to have your routine packed down so that you're able to stay engaged in what you're doing, and at the end of the day, it's your commitment to your compete level, to get you through those long periods and those intermissions that seems to be longer than they should be, and I think Vasi and all the goalies right now, you look at the multiple games that's gone in multiple overtime. I think guys are doing a great job, but I think Vasi handled those situations really well since the start of the playoffs, and you can see that he's matured a lot in the last few years.
Yeah, it was an exciting series to watch, as was the Boston series. But I also wanted to ask you, Frantz, about the NHL's decision to postpone games for 2 days to protest racism and the importance of trying to create progress in the NHL. We heard from some of the players across all teams, Kevin Shattenkirk, Luke Shen, Braden Coburn, just about the ongoing conversations you guys were having during those 2 days. What was important, and what were your takeaways from those conversations, and in hopes of inspiring progress in the conversation for Black Lives Matters?
Well, it was very. It is a challenging time. It's not over. I think it ignited big conversation within our group, and I was thinking about that the other day. Like you have those conversations usually with small groups of people, one-on-one, a couple of friends together, and you talk about those issues. But it was, I think, the first time in my life that I had a conversation with such a large group of individuals. We were close to 50 in the room when we met that night, and everything came out in the open. Guys talked about their feeling, about the challenges that they see ahead, that they feel as their position in society, and their race and their gender, and it was really, really interesting to see, and I was really happy to have been given the opportunity to talk to the group also in that situation. I'm an older guy. I'm kind of an elder statesman in that group, turning 50 in the next few months. So I have a certain life experience that maybe, most of the guys don't have. And I think it was great to be able to share some of that experience. And I think that guys generally want things to change. That's my takeaway from that discussion. The big question was, how do we change things? How do we move forward? How do we improve how do we improve the context for all the visible minorities that are involved in the game, but not just involved in the game, but in our different communities. And I was really, really impressed from the guys. I was really impressed with the guys, with their thought process and really their will to make a difference. And I think the next generation coming, I think it's going to change the world. I think we're at a crossroad right now. People want to move in a different direction. They want to see the world get to a place that where everybody's going to have the same opportunities and will have the same quality of life and the same opportunity for their children. And I think I think it's amazing right now that we're living into a world where the opportunity is there to change it. And I was really, really proud of the guys, the way they handled it, especially our leadership group. I think Kevin Shattenkirk did an unreal job as our spokesperson. And I discovered, I knew he was a leader, but I discovered an unreal human being in him when he kind of took the reins of being the spokesperson for the team, and how eloquent he was. And it was really impressive to see. I'm really, really fortunate and proud to be associated with this group.
Yeah, I really liked what Kevin Shattenkirk had said too about it's not just the four guys at the podium. It's everybody who's got to be the face in the NHL together to unite against racism and make the world a more inclusive place. But thank you for your insight, as always, Frantz. Very well said, and I appreciate your time, and very excited to watch you guys make it to the Eastern Conference Final, and best of luck to you guys against either the Flyers or the Islanders, whoever you guys see coming up soon.
Thank you, Caley. Thanks for the great job.
Thanks, Frantz. Take care.